Now, I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but people love spying on me and harassing the shit out of me since I've been. And one of the reasons why I tell people, like a mental patient, that I see angels is just to get them to leave me alone. Sometimes I just do that because I know how to say it to trigger a thought process in people's minds that this lady's crazy and we better back off because she doesn't want us here. It does mess with people's mind when I say it. Although I know I'm telling the truth because it's what I see, they don't see what I see and they think it's insane. But it doesn't stop them from, eavesdropping, and these things are in Islam. It's forbidden to eavesdrop, right, in Islam. But people who don't study the Deen, who don't study the religion of Islam, they don't know that and they continue to do it, and it really is quite annoying and irritating. And then they wonder why I give them very controversial responses. But I know exactly what to do to get the exact response that I want from people, and it does work. So people, please stop annoying and spying on me because it's pointless, because I'm not going to back down from this claim. Do you understand? It is the truth. And medical professionals have confirmed I have no mental illness. And I don't presently take any medications whatsoever because I don't need them. So yeah, I don't know what more proof can I give to people that I'm perfectly fine, perfectly healthy, I have normal human responses. Yeah, I'm a little controversial, but that's just the way I want to be, because it's a release for me, and some people don't release and they become these angry individuals that walk the earth and cause chaos in other ways because the anger and rage needs to be released somehow. So, write it down how you feel, tell people, it does help. It really does. Break down those barriers, and speak your mind. And if you have to be subtle because you obviously don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Um, so yeah, like for example, I make these videos and people wonder, oh, is she talking to herself, by herself? Constantly having to come and check on what I'm doing. Like, I don't need people to do that. And if you're a Muslim woman who has people doing that to you, they didn't have any rights to do that to you. We do not live like prisoners in our own, professions as scholars. We shouldn't have to feel this way, but it just seems to be the reality. I guess you can't relate to me because you don't see the angels, guys, but trust me, it's very, what's the word, man? I'm still normal, is what I'm trying to tell people. I'm still a girl, I'm still a woman, I still have feelings and emotions and hormones and everything you guys experience. I just don't, I can't, now that I'm this minister of religion, I can't go out clubbing or anything, can I? And the fact that I've never been should be another sign that I was chosen for the right reasons. I've never been drunk. I don't smoke weed or any drugs. I don't do crack, I don't do heroin, I don't do meth, so I'm not a drug addict. I've never dabbled, but I actually used to think by the grace of Allah I was protected from a lot of these things. And also another thing, I feel, although there's a lot of men that are attracted to me, yeah, I felt that I've been protected from them. Because obviously I've been attracted to guys my whole life, right? But there's been a barrier from Allah preventing me from being married and having children earlier in my life on purpose because Allah wanted me to have this divine experience. And sometimes I feel suffocated, like every time I meet somebody new, I want to pursue marriage with them. I feel like Allah slamming down the shutters on me and saying, no, Maryam, I'm saving you for myself so you can do this spiritual path and mission and do exactly what I want you to do, like a good little slave. And I'm exhausted, right? Because I know at the same time I have the pressure of being commanded to marry. So he wants me to marry and have offspring, and yet it's like it's not happening quick enough. And yet when it does happen quick enough, I'm like, I'm not ready yet. It's like mental. But now I am really very ready. And there is a time in a woman's life and in a man's life when they have to mate, whether they're married or not, and I've reached that point basically. I feel ready to just clamp my thighs around someone and mate with them, that whoever I'm attracted to, and if it doesn't work out, the next most person that I'm attracted to, try and mate. I feel like that. It's basically an animal instinct to reproduce before we die, and it's a very strong urge. And it does take over, and I know people say that only men have wet dreams, but I believe that women do too. And I didn't realise how physical the sensation can reach in the dream realm, but I really do have the most intense physically real experiences in the dream realm. But obviously, when you can't see somebody as clearly as you'd like to, or if you know that you're engaging in an act that can be considered quite intimate, the natural human inclination to that realm is to pull away from it and to wake up in this world, and that's essentially what I do. But it is very intense, and you can, you know, wake up in that aroused state, and it makes my life even more difficult because, I mean, I walk around lowering my gaze, knowing I have to guard my chastity because I have to be married. But how much longer can I sustain this? How much longer can I be patient? You know, we have a need to mate. We have a need to mate. So if I go on a wild rampage just mating with every man that I feel attracted to, maybe that's the only way to continue my line. And if, you know, people before me who've done this, their line continues to this day, and they have some very beautiful children. But do I want the same? Do I want that for myself? Or, you know, what do I want? I just want to be free. I love the idea of being free in that way. And when you have something this great, you want to share it. You want to share it. It's so amazing. It's like, imagine the uproar from the Muslim community if I had polygamous relationships with multiple men. That would really piss a few million, billion people off, wouldn't it, really? Because people would think that's really greedy, or it's really insensitive, or, you know, because I feel like a child just going from husband to husband. Like, you know, although in my ideal world I could do that and that would be great, it could be very hurtful for the people involved and stuff. And I'd have to constantly explain, I'm only doing this because I see the angels of Allah and I want to continue my divine line, you know. So yeah, there's those issues. And again, I think that prophets were forced into things like that because they had to produce the next line. But again, according to scripture, I don't see any signs of polygamy. I see that the prophet married one person, and then when that person passed away, they were encouraged to marry somebody else by Allah in the same scripture. So then they had to marry the person who Allah told them to marry. But aside from that, I don't see any reference to sort of clear reference of the mentioning of names of multiple wives at any one time. I don't see that mention. Because anyone can write into a holy book that, yeah, go ahead, marry multiple husbands. Or what Allah has sent for the believing men, He sent for the believing women. Now I can, as a scholar of Islam, a divinely ordained one, I can easily say to Muslim women everywhere, you too have the right to have polygamous marriages, because whatever Allah gave to one, He gave to the other, because obviously we're competing up on the level of piety. And people say, oh no, men have to go to war and then they die. Women can go to war too. I mean, now we have people dropping bombs from their laptops. I can press a button and drop a 3,000-pound bomb anywhere in the world from a computer as a woman. So, you know, people talk about, and people say that, you know, women can use a bow and arrow as well and kill someone. You know, obviously people say because of the strength, the physical strength and the demand of war and blah blah blah. But really, if you really look into it, Allah has blessed us with the same level of piety for the same acts. So what I'm saying is, I don't know if I have exclusive rights. I don't know, and that's kind of frightening for me because I don't want to limit myself, right? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the next time I release a video, I'll have a child and I'll tell you all about it. Okay, thank you.